Hi, my name is Jalon, and I keep up with the news for you.
And I'm Joey, and I keep up with the policy for you.
And together we help you vote smarter, not harder. And today we're going to crash out.
Like we like
Evergreen.
to do.
Yeah. Shit is bad. And instead of talking, about all the bad things, we like to add a little bit of levity to what's going on, especially into our politics, because we do like to have fun and have a laugh too. So in this segment, Everything is Political, we like to talk about things that aren't obviously political, but are. I may need my glasses for the second section. Okay. So my Everything is Political is not about the World Cup, because I just watched England not win and I need a moment. But my Everything is Political is books. Specifically, one of my favorite Substacks that I follow, which is called Every Day is Juneteenth. And they do this thing that I would love. They do it well, so we don't need to replicate it in any way. But what they like to do is when something salacious happens in the news, like if JD Vance says something crazy, or if any politician or any person out there of notoriety says anything, they're like, hey, so since this person is trending, this is a good time to tell you about this book. And it's just them educating us on books that we should read that's relevant to what's happening. So smart. Recently, and we're not going to talk about this because I will crash out.
Okay.
Recently, the minority leader in the House of Representatives said that he would oppose if a bill came out to take away money from Israel. He would oppose it. I don't think he's paying attention to the base. Let me read exactly what he said, because I don't want to.
And this is Jeffries, right?
Yeah, this is Jeffries who said this. Guys, you're not seeing this, but your girl is all over the place, and it is a problem.
You're on every edge of the internet. You're like, all the places the internet is, you're all of them.
Girl. Okay, so recently Hakeem Jeffries said that he would oppose a bid to cut off aid to Israel, which is crazy if you have been paying attention to the base at all. If you have not seen how voters have been voting based on this one specific part of
2 or 3 years already, not for 6 months. We're talking about years of this.
Yes, and the fact that he said he would oppose it says everything. So Every Day is Juneteenth said, they're so funny. They said, since Hakeem Jeffries is trending, we recommend reading Sellout. Okay, it's called Sellout, The Politics of Racial Betrayal. And I was like, oh, okay. They're so funny. And then another post that said, white liberals showed you who they were when Charlie Kirk died, and they did it again yesterday when Lindsey Graham died. Believe them. And we suggest reading this book, Liberal White Supremacy, which, yeah. Okay. Says Cory Booker is trending for calling Lindsey Graham a hero. We recommend reading, quote, Breaking the Two-Party Doom Loop, the case for multiple-party democracy in America. They're just so smart. And also they're a black-owned smaller bookstore. And they're always going after Amazon. They're like, don't buy from Amazon. Like, you can actually buy from us instead. Recently, when Nolan Wells was killed, and the internet had a lot of conversations about this, they posted that all white parents should read the book, Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together? And I saw that you reposted it, and then you bought it.
I reposted it, and I immediately bought it. Because I'm like, I haven't read that one yet. I need it. And not only that, but I actually think now that I've been looking through it, I haven't started reading it because it literally arrived a few minutes ago. But my 17-year-old who took Black History last year, I think will really enjoy reading this and taking it to discuss with his teachers.
If you are a watcher of our news briefs, every so often I will read a news headline or something that somebody said, and immediately I will say, you should probably read this book. It probably won't shock you, but I have a book recommendation for you. Hold on one second. This is one book I suggest. It's called Black as History. This is one of my favorite political books. Just a reminder, we are going to be buying Bell Hooks Communion. It's a gorgeous film, so if you haven't seen it, please do. Suddenly this feels like a Reading Rainbow book review, which I love. So it's near and dear to my heart. I think the reading...
Whenever you say that, I just order the book. I'm like, okay, I'll do that right now.
No one should have all that power. But I think reading has gone down with each generation, which makes me really sad. My sister and I were avid readers growing up to the point where, and I was definitely that millennial kid that was out at midnight getting Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
But at one point...
You're such a baby. I was so old that I didn't really know when that was happening until
you were also traveling the world.
Yeah, exactly. I was off traveling the world. I didn't even hear about Harry Potter for It was like the 5th movie was coming out when I first heard about Harry Potter. And I was like, oh, what is all this?
That's so funny.
Seriously, yeah.
I was a late comer to it because I was like, why is everybody talking about these children books? I was such a cool 21-year-old. I was like, why is everybody talking about these children books? And I had a friend at the time, and I made fun of him all the time. And this is a anti-JK Rowling space.
Hardcore.
So we're extracting her from this. We're not necessarily separating the art from the artist, but we're talking about this as if this was 2002.
Yeah.
This is 2002 that we're talking about right now. Yeah,
I am.
And so I had a friend that I just made fun of him all the time. I was like, why are you reading those children books? Like, come on, man. Like, be cool. And he's he goes, read the first book. If you don't like it, you can keep making fun of me.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yes. I'm sure this was you at work the next week.
I'm sorry.
That was me at work. Like when I'm supposed to be like, at the time, I think I was like supposed to be answering phones or something at some, studio or something. And I'm literally have the book under my desk so I can read it. That's how I read the Harry Potter books.
Incorrect.
I would even read them in the car. Like I couldn't put it down.
No, incorrect. I would read them in a day.
Okay.
I would stay up.
Sit down and read the whole thing.
And I would read it in one day.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Badass. You couldn't have done that with 6 and 7. They were too long. You did? Girl, crazy.
Six is smaller. 6 is smaller. So 5 is the big daddy. Mm-hmm. 6 is a little bit smaller, and then 7 gives us a little bit more. No, I read those in a day. I sat there.
Amazing.
Read them in a whole day. I am thankful that I'm not one of those millennials that got a Harry Potter tattoo.
God, yeah, no. Yeah, that's not super great.
Honestly, it's bad enough that I've got Harry Potter Funko Pops and 3 to 4 different versions of the same book that are in my closet because I can't have that out here. I can't have that out here. No, yeah. So, and so to the point where me and my sister were always talking about these books, and my mom turns to my dad, she goes, honey, the kids are on books.
Good though, right?
It's so good. Yeah. So I am a big believer in expanding your understanding or awareness of things through literary. I was definitely a book snob. I would either, if I didn't do film in college, I would probably have been a history major or an English literature. Yeah, I would have ended up being a history professor if I would have did that. But yeah, so I mean,
my one regret actually that I didn't just stay and become a history professor because,
girl, you have done so much good out here.
No, I don't have real regrets, but
no. So that's why everything is political, is reading. Reading is fundamental. Reading is dwindling, and not just this country, but everywhere. Everything has to be instantaneous, but I'm telling you, man, just a quiet weekend on the couch, reading, getting lost in another world is...
These days, it's honestly mental health protection. I mean, like the ability to go into a different world inside a book and just be somewhere else for a little while is, I think, one of the only things keeping us going.
No, seriously. And I like to do like a serious book, a fluffy book.
I do too. I flip flop. Yeah.
Yeah. If you are on Substack, please follow Every Day's Juneteenth. They're very timely. Something happens in the news, they have a reference for you. They're a great alternative to Amazon. I suggest nobody buying from Amazon. There's some independent artists that completely only can sell through Amazon because it gets printed and for them and whatnot. Yeah. So if you're going to buy books on Amazon and you can't find it anywhere else, go ahead and buy those books for those independent artists. But for, the bigger books, if you're not going to get it from them, I suggest bookshop.org, which is where I get all my books. Every purchase, you can have a donation going to any bookstore. You get to choose. And I choose a local bookstore that's like a mile away from me.
They're great.
They are, but they're expanding, so they may be okay. So I may be looking for a new independent Black bookstore that I can help facilitate and get them some more money. But, and if you can, you should shop local. Do not go to Barnes & Noble. Yeah.
I was going to say, Half Price Books is a great brand. I've known the owner since they started it in the 70s. He literally, the owner of... it was a couple, lived across the street from my house growing up. It was not a fancy house, like at all. It was just the same little house as ours was. But I mean, they still run a good company. I know they, give people benefits. I know they paid everyone through the pandemic. They've always been focused on being like a, reduce, reuse, recycle kind of thing since the 70s. So it's, locally a good company to support. I don't know. I wouldn't order from Half Price Books if I lived in Montana, but here locally, Half Price Books.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're great too. Yeah, there's a lot of options.
Yeah,
but if you're going to buy them
on,
but just for timeliness, just for connection to what's happening in the world currently, like first of all, great follow, just a great follow.
Yeah.
I love a petty read. All right. See, I told you mine went into your book purchase.
I know, but I don't have an everything is political though.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
I have a crash out now. I came up with one.
So now it's time for our favorite segment. And I hope it's yours too, because we all need to have a sanctioned crash out time, you know, because the last thing you want to do is crash out on public transportation.
No, exactly. You got to let it go when you get a minute to like let the valve.
Yeah. Let the air out a little bit.
Let the steam out.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing here.
Okay.
All right.
I love it.
Joey, since you didn't have everything's political, I'm going to let you go first with your crash out.
Cool. My crash out is an evergreen one that happens whenever someone dies. And that is where all of a sudden everyone creates this whole new version of this person. And Democrats are out there being like, this guy was my friend. And I don't know. It's just offensive because this person damaged so many lives, literally basically killed Palestine. Like you could, say so many bad things about Lindsey Graham, and the way people were talking about him was just honestly gross. I cannot get behind that. That has got to go.
Yeah, I am not a proponent for that at all. Like if somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, your such and such was so nice," I'm going to be like, "You don't need to lie to me." Like I knew that. I love them for who they were. You don't need to do this. You know what I mean? You don't need to, like you said, create this new version.
The thing is that, like, I know that there's truth, right? There's truth to the fact that, like, inside the Senate, they've created warm relationships with each other. Like, they say that's really a thing in the Senate. The Senate is much more, I don't know what the tone is, collegial. Like, the Senate works really differently. If you think about the House being like 450 people or whatever it is. So the House is kind of like intense. There's a lot going on, all these different factions, a lot, right? Whereas the Senate is 100 people and they stay there forever because that's how they like to do it. And so they'll know each other for decades. So it does make sense that they would have genuine relationships with each other. It just goes to the point of like, I don't need to know what Liz or Amy think about him. Like they didn't even need to make a post. And so the whole thing just seemed bullshit. It's like, you just didn't need to make a post
at all.
No, that's
at all.
No.
And don't shake your finger at us. This man did actual harm. Actual harm.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you thought he was like this little southern little bumbling
little
girl. Stop. Yeah, please stop. He did actual harm.
Even just to the point that, like, since he's passed in just the week, it feels like everyone's sort of or days, it feels like everyone is just behaving as though it's known now that he's always been LGBTQ on the inside. And it's like, yeah, but he's literally done harm to his own people then for decades.
Everybody knows there is like this closeted gay mafia, largely Republican, that exists in Washington, D.C.
Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't think that makes it a positive that maybe he had this special part inside him that he didn't share. We don't need to be, like saying that's great now. Like, come on. No.
And to that, I say Strom Thurmond had a black daughter. And he did so much harm to Black Americans and their quality of life in this country for as long as he could. I believe he was the senator that held the filibuster until Cory Booker took it. And it was about anti-desegregation.
Yes, for 24 hours, he would not even take a break to pee so that he could stop anti-slavery legislation. Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's got a black daughter that he was financially taking care of until his dying day.
My name is Essie Mae Washington Williams. My mother, who is now deceased, was named Carrie Butler, and she worked for the Thurmond family. I was born in Aiken, South Carolina, on October the 12th, 1925. My father's name was Strom Thurmond.
So I don't care how genteel or kind he was to you in the hallways. When it mattered, he was a piece of shit. And the fact that he did not listen to medical advice.
What you gonna do? But we don't need to be making him to be some fancy person that we love now. We just don't need to do that. It's one of the things that makes citizens out in the world hate politicians because they're like, what? That guy literally fucked my own life. Like, and you're over there being like, he's so great. We were buddies. Like, what? Like, why would they even do it? You know, because it's just so, it feels disingenuous, even though honestly, like I said, I can believe that maybe they had real relationships with him because again, now they're all acting like he was their girlfriend, like their LGBTQ girlfriend. And like, we were just such close friends. And I'm like, what in the is happening? We were talking about Lindsey Graham. He was horrible. Period. End of story.
The fact that the only good thing he ever did was the beginning in 2016, he spoke truth to who and what Donald Trump was.
That he's a jackass.
Really?
That he's bringing his name down and he's not helping the process. And he shouldn't be commander-in-chief.
And then immediately, just like Ted Cruz, just flip the switch because it's like, oh, well, they're now in power. Let me go ahead and lick their boots. It's like, girl, what are we doing? What are we doing?
At the end, Trump was calling him his best friend when he literally said Trump is going to ruin the party and we will deserve it. I mean, that has all completely materialized. So thank you for bringing that into the world as just a thought, Lindsay. That worked great for everyone. But yeah, what? Sad, embarrassing. I don't know.
I'm with you.
You know, no real values because he was like, you know, he's Satan, and then he's like, he's my best friend. Come on,
girl. They called him the Trump whisperer. What are you whispering?
Yeah, I'll get you a Diet Coke.
He's got a button for that. He's got a button for that.
I'll bring you the McDonald's.
I'll work on the Russian sanctions.
Yeah.
I'll do the Russian sanctions. I'm gonna do this. The fact that he was like balls to the wall about Israel. Is a girl like just yeah, no, it's not my crash out. That is a great crash out. It's a great crash out. My crash out is over the people that are already having backlash towards the Odyssey.
Elon Musk has been tweeting about this all week long. He just said Christopher Nolan is pissing on Homer's grave. It's disgraceful.
This is cultural vandalism, is what they're doing. Historical vandalism.
What will speak most is the fact that nobody's going to go see this woke movie, and it's going to be a box office bust, and they're going to make zero money on it.
Yeah, how dare you cast popular actors in fictional roles in a movie adaptation of a poem written 2,700 years ago? And a black woman as Helen of Troy, who, according to the same mythology, hatched from an egg that was the result of Zeus turning into a swan and having sex with a goddess, who turned into a goose. You know, white lady stuff.
Oh, that's funny. I kind of automatically have backlash built in for me as well.
So the backlash is because this version of the Odyssey is based on a translation or a version that was written by, her name is Emily Wilson. She translated Homer's epic, you know, whatever. These people who've never read a book are calling it a woke abomination.
Oh my God.
And they're having like just a breakdown with a whole bunch of feelings because they're so upset that there's black people in the Odyssey. Joey, you don't know this about me, but I am a amateur scholar in Greek and Roman mythology. I'm
not surprised at all, and so am I. Love that shit. Love that shit. Yeah.
Yes.
I took classes in that classics. Girl. I was way into it too. I love the Odyssey. I've read it a few times.
I've read
Circumspect Penelope. Are you kidding me? Love that shit.
Yeah. Persephone's my girl. That's the goddess that I'm most attuned towards. But I need everybody to take a break. Just take a step back for a second. Couple things. Homer was a blind poet, and this story was orated for generations before somebody wrote it down. Yep. If you did not read, if you did not read this in high school, the Odyssey is a thick ass book.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm like, y'all got an audiobook? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Well, I could not listen to the audio book of an Odyssey. I think that would be like,
hard give me the Cliff Notes. Give me something other than having to read this big, chunky, dense.
I got into it. I like the writing. It is.
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's like you see it, you see how girthy it is.
No, yeah. And you're like, whoa, no, for sure. Yeah.
If you think Homer was sitting down and talking this long and telling this story every time he told the story, you are crazy. Okay? if you don't think over the years there's been embellishments and additions and exaggerations and this, that, and the other.
Just like another famous book, right? The Bible.
Talking about thick books. So for you to walk around and talk about the purity or the sanctity of this text.
When, as you said, I'm sure none of them have read it. So
haven't read it, but also you are envisioning a Europe that never existed. And the version of Europe that you're thinking about is all white.
Yes.
When there are Black, Asian, like all kind, like everybody that lived in that region. When the Romans spread across Europe, they were everywhere and everybody else was also there. If you look how colonialism is now and you go, oh, I didn't know there's Black people there. Just imagine back then too, right? If you think Helen of Troy was this pure white, whatever, baby, there's one, we don't know. Two,
but it's highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely.
No.
Highly unlikely.
People's skin back then, I mean, again, we weren't there, right? But it doesn't make sense that it would have been white skin in that area of the globe.
No.
Like, it just doesn't make sense.
And and maybe they're a little bit, like, you guys are thinking about Europe today and it was not Europe of today, right? There are places that don't exist anymore that are in this book. But also, we're talking about Medusa. We're talking about sirens. That's not real. I need y'all to relax. Please. Just buy the bucket of popcorn. If you go to Alamo, endless bucket of popcorn. Get that endless bucket of popcorn. Sit down somewhere and just enjoy this epic movie. They shot it on IMAX film.
Any scene that goes longer than 2.5 or 3 minutes, the camera has to reload because the IMAX film goes through the camera that fast. And that was kind of, everyone had a challenge put to them, and that was one of ours. And we would particularly for our final scenes in the movie, we would begin the scene. And then the camera would roll out, freeze, we would pause and just maintain that energy. And the team would reload as fast as they could. Keith and Ryan and Emily, like they were incredible. They were like a pit crew, like a Formula One team. But it still would take a couple minutes, and then we would go back a few lines and then resume the scene and then roll out and then do that again. And so we'd go through 3 rolls of film usually for like one take. And then Chris would say, okay, and then he'd give us some adjustments and we'd go back and we'd do the whole thing again. So each take would take about a half an hour.
Christopher Nolan is known for getting some of the best actors in the world, not only on the film, but excited to be on the film. This film was hard.
Yeah, to make,
Yes, they are on the actual water in actual boats. There's one, I saw this one interview with Matt Damon, and Christopher Nolan's like, hey, since you're throwing up back there, you mind if we capture that on film?
It is wild, though, that they were filming the whole thing live action with real boats. Like, that's the thing that I've seen in the interviews, too, that, like, they didn't it's not CG, like, they haven't duplicated the boats. Like, there are actually tons of people in boats for a long ass time.
Christopher Nolan said, not on my watch with AI. Nope, not on my watch. So, for y'all not in the film industry, IMAX film, each roll is 5 minutes long. So, these people have to come in, kill it, and then we're moving on. 5-minute takes is all they get. This is expensive fucking film. And you're upset that Helen of Troy is played by the Lupita Nyong'o? Academy Award winning Lupita Nyong'o?
One of the most beautiful people on the planet?
Those cheekbones would set ships sailing. Are you kidding me?
For sure.
You're upset that what character is played by a Black woman? Gorgeous.
I will say one of my issues is that Matt Damon was cast. I'm like, Matt Damon?
Christopher has his favorites.
I know. That's the thing. I get that, whatever. But like,
it could have been Leo.
For me, that's not who I would have chosen, but whatever.
Yeah.
That felt cheesy to me personally, but whatever.
The people in my cohort, it's like Christian and Tom Hardy and Leo and Matthew and JD and Rob and Hugh Jackman and Killian. It's like a murderer's row of great actors. And all of them would have been fantastic.
I got it.
But they all passed.
The thing that
You know?
I like best about Christopher Nolan's films, and I will say in recent years, I honestly don't like Christopher Nolan's films. They're very, for me personally, masculine in a way that's almost like mean, like aggressive. I don't know. I don't like his films, generally speaking, but I love his sound. Like you can literally, like, if you just put it in a headphones and watch his movies, like the sound, there's no one else who does the sound better. The sound is perfect in his films.
Yeah, the sound editing
And the
is
music, it's always
gorgeous.
Like,
yeah. I love his big sweeping wide shots.
Yeah, I like that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, no director is perfect, but that's part of creating your toolkit as a filmmaker. You go, I like this of this person, and all of a sudden now you've got your own look. I need everybody to just get off the wall for just a second. All right. So many people, big names, signed up for this movie, and they're doing some of the best work they've said that they've ever done. Just enjoy the ride. You don't have to read this big thing. You can just enjoy the ride. The fact that you guys are you weren't upset when Cleopatra was played by white women. I need y'all to get a f***ing grip, please. Get a f***ing grip. This is not like we're doing a movie about Martin Luther King Jr. and you guys hired Ben Affleck. That's not what this is. Dr. King was real. We don't know.
We don't know what
half
look like.
These people.
She's a fucking story. And like you said, when it was oral history for centuries, like there is no record of what the person looked like. That's ridiculous.
I'm almost done with this crash out. I'm almost done. I'm bringing it home. Here we go. I need to hear less from the people who have allowed the picture of Jesus Christ to be blonde and blue-eyed to shut the up.
Yeah.
Please. Because there's actual descriptions of what Jesus looked like in your little book, and y'all have all been like, oh, no, he's blonde and blue-eyed. Oh, no, he looked like a Greek girl. If you don't shut up about this this very fake book. A lot of the Iliad and the Odyssey is fake.
Yeah. It's classics. Again, these are classics stories that have to do with a lot of different gods and all kinds of shit. That is not what actually occurred. Even like the things where it's like, you know, they rode for like 8 years. It's like, come on. I mean, obviously they didn't do that, right? Come on, y'all. This is a fucking story.
Yeah, I just saw, it was John Green did years ago this breakdown of what the Odyssey was. And he's like, if you look on Google Maps, it should have taken 2 weeks.
No, that's the thing. I remember talking about that with my professor about it. We laughed about that. Yes.
Girl. He was stuck on an island because some creature was so in love with him.
Yeah, exactly.
I need everybody to calm down. There are actual things that you should be upset about. And the fact that you're upset that there are a couple black women in this story that is based in Greece and you're thinking it's Greece of today. I need y'all to be so for real. These are the same people who get upset when Hermione became a black girl in the new TV version, in the stage version. These are the same people who obviously did not read everything in the Hunger Games, and they were upset that Rue had curly hair and brown skin when she was specifically described in the book with curly hair and brown skin. That was the district. That's why everybody in the district looked like her.
Yes. They didn't read the book, though. That's the thing. They didn't read the book, Jalon.
I know.
Again, you're projecting these ideas that these people are going to have real, actual thoughts based on something, valid, but no.
I know. But the other thing is, and I haven't read Emily's version of the Odyssey, but Homer's version, the version that we know as Homer's version, was so cruel to women. I need you to just get the popcorn and get some Coke or a beer. Get a nice drafty beer. Sit down in the seats, recline back, and sit down for an IMAX epic adventure.
It's a freaking summer movie, you guys. Come on.
And shut the up, please. Pretty please.
All right. That is our show for this week. Thanks for watching and listening.
And if you'd like to keep up with the news, we have a daily news brief where we talk about the biggest news stories of the day. Nothing too in-depth, just enough to not look silly in your company's Slack channel.
And if you want to know what you can do in your communities, how you can be an active participant in your local government, I put out a weekly newsletter called Organizer's Corner.
And we got you covered on all the news. Like I said, I keep up with the news for you.
And I keep up with the policy for you.
And together we help you become smarter and consistent voters. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.